Hey, how you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining. Number 133, fantastic. And I've got the little yin and the yang emblem as well. I like that. Thank you so much to the Royal Voluntary Service, the Virtual Village Hall, for hosting me for the 133rd time. 2.5 years ago, I never thought we'd get this far. So what a fantastic service that it provides. There's all sorts of content that you can check out. And if it's your first time on the Royal Voluntary Service Virtual Village Hall, then welcome, like a wholehearted welcome. There's so much good content to look at here, whether it be yoga or Pilates or dance movement, maybe there's some cooking, mindfulness, meditation, there's sewing, there's all sorts of stuff, right? I can't remember all the stuff because the content is so varied. So thank you to those guys. I'm going to leave the comments off today, just because I just want to kind of go through a class without any distractions, but I'll turn the comments on towards the end and then I'll have a quick look through. It's been pretty quiet on the comments for anyway the last few weeks, so I hope you don't mind me doing that. And just that idea now, as we go into the autumn and we go into the winter, things can get a little bit tougher, can't they? Things can feel just that little bit, dark evenings. And then in the morning, it's like really hard to get up. And our body clocks change. Even though it's an hour, there's a lot of people that I'm talking to at the moment who are really struggling with a routine. So be gentle with yourself. Don't kind of judge yourself for not getting onto your yoga mat or doing something you normally would. Just be mindful of it. And I always think that we probably spend more time struggling to do something than actually doing it. Once we start to do that task, then it's usually quite easy, because we just give ourselves that permission to do what we need during that session, whether it be a yoga session or something different. But a lot of our time, that procrastination is like a real problem, isn't it? And procrastination, you think about it, it's something that you want to do or you have to do. Not that you have to do yoga, but something that you want to do that you just keep putting off and keep putting off and keep putting off. Next week. And then we get to that point, don't we, where we feel low of energy, we feel probably quite mentally low as well. And then we think, I really need something in my life. And it's then quite hard to kind of get back into that. So be gentle with yourself, but also know that all of these practices are available to you. And you only get the benefit of these practices by actually doing them. And that's not me to kind of like whoosh, and kind of whip you into shape or anything like that. That certainly isn't my style. But just to know that you are worth looking after, you are worth taking care of. And whether that be some nice gentle movement through yoga, some breath work, pranayama, which we're going to do today as well, whether it be about nourishing yourself with good food and good company, community, whether it be, about getting enough sleep and all of this sort of good stuff that we can bring together. We are so obsessed with quick fixes, right? And do you know what? Unfortunately, quick fixes don't work. And they might work for a little bit, and we're like, oh yeah, everything's great, and then we fall apart again. So just really gentle, steady practices, and knowing, bring your compassion into your practices as well, and bring that love into your practice, because as I said before, you are well worth this. All right, okay. So what I'd like you to do is find a comfortable seat. I'm going to do a couple of adjustments. I just want to turn off my email. I do apologise. I don't like that. I'm not sure if you hear it from your end, but I certainly don't like the distraction of my email binging off like that. And I think we're ready to go. I need a shave as well, don't I? All right, okay. We're good. All right, so find a comfortable seat. Now remember, I usually give this option. With a comfortable seat, it can be any comfortable seat that's good for you. So if you want to sit on a chair, do that. If you want to sit up against the wall, do that. You can do this movement or these breath postures sat. I'm sat over a bolster. You can do this on a cushion or some pillows. I recommend these bolsters. They're absolutely amazing and they really aid your yoga practice. What happens here is, everything's in line. I can get some nice length in my spine and my posture feels really good here. And the reason that I want to bring length into my spine is so I can breathe deeply, right? We're going to do something called pranayama. Pranayama is just breath play or breath exercises. They're usually part of yoga classes. They're really beautiful. beautiful things to do. So what I'd like you to do is bring some length into your spine. You can do that sat up against the wall. You can do it in a chair, as I say. It doesn't matter. Now, when you bring length into your spine, you probably want to just give your shoulders a little shrug. Maybe up and down, maybe like either side, whatever works for you. And then maybe sweep the arms above the head, and then just a little bit of intuitive movement. So you don't have to follow what I'm doing, but I like this side-to-side movement. And it's not about, oh, look how deep I can get into it. I'm a super flexible, strong yogi. It's got nothing to do with that whatsoever, right? It really hasn't. It's just about moving freely. Be gentle. Maybe push the palms up in towards the sky. If you're doing the same sort of things as me, you might be doing something completely different. That's fine. And maybe think about your navel, your heart, right to the crown of your head, and then think about that line of energy. And then bring your hands down if they're there, and then let's all just come into a twist. Now, you might do this cross-legged or how I'm sat. I'm just going to twist over to the right. So I'm going to hold on to the front of my bolster, the back of my bolster. That's going to give me a little bit of leverage. Inhale to find some length. And then exhale into a little twist. Inhale to find length. Exhale into a little twist. And you can work with a relaxed neck. What I mean there, you can drop the chin down, or if everything's feeling okay, maybe look beyond the shoulder, but certainly don't push it. And then when you're ready, I invite you to inhale your arms all the way back up, relax the shoulders as you lengthen the arms, and then exhale, twist to the opposite side. Left, maybe right, doesn't matter, but as long as it's the opposite side, then you're in a good place, right? And then just come back to your breath, inhaling through the nose, and exhaling through your nose. Nice. Take one more complete round of breath. And when you're ready, come all the way back to center. All right, have a little move through your spine. Bring your hands wherever feels good for you. We're going to do some breath exercises, some pranayama, and we're going to be sat like this or wherever you found yourself for a good amount of time. So make sure that you're comfortable. And we'll probably do 3 different types of breath. And I'll give you an opportunity to move in between them, okay? So make sure you're warm. You're not going to move a lot in this first section of the class. So again, if you want to grab a blanket, I've got a blanket underneath me today. If you want to grab one and place it over your shoulders, you've got a great opportunity to do that. All right, let's just see how your nostrils are doing before we start. So block off your right nostril. So bring your right hand up, block off your right nostril with your right thumb, and then inhale through your left. Then exhale through your left. Bring your hand down, bring up the left hand, block off the left nostril, and then inhale through your right. And then exhale through your right. Nice, and then you can bring that hand down. Now, I'm going to do something, I'm going to ask you to move, even though I said, oh, we're going to stay in the same position. This time of year, we sometimes feel a little bit bunged up, and there's lots of reasons for that. You know, you might have a cold, or it might just be the change in temperature, the change of the season. There's a lot of moisture in the air at the moment. So when you're breathing through your nostrils, I'm saying, do this, do that, and you're like, I'm really bunged up in one nostril. Now my left nostril is just a little bit bunged up. So there's a really great trick to kind of unbung your nostrils, and it's not about blowing your nose. So wherever you are, come onto all fours. If you're on a settee, I do apologise. Come onto all fours. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is lie down on your belly just for a moment, and then roll onto your side, and then bring your knees up towards your chest. And then with that left hand, place your head on your left hand. Okay, so your left nostril is right down towards the floor. And then just breathe here, just for about 30 seconds. So this position you're probably familiar with, it's fetal position, and we sometimes come into it when we transition through poses, or certainly at the end of the class. But this is a really great way to quite naturally open up one side of your nose. And there's usually one side of your nose or one nostril which is dominant. You can have the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Just take a couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, press into your top hand and just unravel, and then come all the way back up. Find a seated position that works for you. So I'm going to come back onto my bolster, maybe you're back onto a chair, take your time, and then block off your right nostril again. You might not have had a bunged up left nostril, I do understand, but this is all for just a little demonstration. And then I can breathe a little bit more freely through my left nostril. Nice. Thinking about nostrils before we come into this alternate nostril breathing, we have a dominant nostril, and that changes every 90 minutes, I think, something like that. So know that that will change, but you can just gently force it by lying on your side. All right, there we go. Funny things that we do, right? If someone walked in and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do yoga for 45 minutes, and they walked into the room and you're just lying on your side, and they're like, this yoga looks really odd. All right, so alternate nostril breathing. Bring the right hand up, bring the left hand just on your thigh, on your knee, or wherever feels good. Block off your right nostril really gently, and then take a deep inhale through your left nostril. And then just close off the left with the ring finger or little finger and exhale through your right. Inhaling through your right. Close off your right, full exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Close off left, full exhale through your right. Just be aware of your posture, make sure your spine is still nice and long. So there's intention, but you're not straining in any way. Inhaling through your right. Close off the right, exhale through your left. Inhaling through your left. Close it off, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close it off, switch, exhale through your left. Final full round, inhale through your left. Switch, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close off right, exhale through your left. And if your eyes are closed, keep your eyes closed or just keep your gaze really soft. When that exhale through your left is finished, bring the right hand down and just check in with your experience. Maybe bring a little focus here, right in between your third eye. Eyes are closed and the gaze is just down towards the floor. And then rub your hands together at heart center. Create a load of heat in your palms. Loads. Rub them even harder. And then what I want you to do is give yourself just a little massage. What is going on today? All right. So just with the tips of your fingers, which will feel really warm now, just massage your forehead. Really light with the fingertips. And then maybe bring some more of the fingers, maybe kind of like your mid finger and then down to your palms, just onto your temples. And then maybe all of your hand now, the palms included, onto your cheeks and then down into your neck. Maybe you still feel that warmth. And then give your hands one more final rub. Loads of heat. And then place your hands on your ears. And then just down the back of your neck. And then round the front to your chin. And then just all the way back up. Back to your forehead. Maybe to the crown of your head. And then just give your hands a good shake out. Nice. Beautiful. All right. It's nice, right? That little self-massage and the warmth in your hands, it can feel quite comforting. Hopefully you're not freaked out too much by it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing, but we're going to retain our breath at the top of the inhales. So when you retain your breath, I always think about just drawing my navel in slightly, and then I think about the energy between my navel and my heart. It's a bit esoteric, right? It's a little bit out there, and you might feel that energy, you might not, it doesn't matter, but you seal the breath. And then I'll ask you to exhale. We won't hold the breath for long, but what I will say to you is If that doesn't feel good, you find a rhythm that works for you. So you never push for a breath practice that makes you feel anxious, that makes you feel frightened, or it just doesn't feel right. Please find a breath that works for you. Never push through something that doesn't feel good. So right hand back up, block off the right nostril, sit tall, take an inhale through your left nostril. And when your lungs are full at the top, pause your breath. Think about your navel, think about your heart, think about the crown of your head. Breath is retained. And then block off your left, take a full exhale through your right. Let the breath go, and let the breath be full, and empty your lungs completely. Inhale through your right. Pause your breath at the top, squeeze your belly up and in really lightly, feel the energy maybe rise to the crown of the head. Everything's relaxed, the jaw's relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed, there's length in your spine. Block off your right with your thumb, exhale to your left, let all the breath go. Beautiful deep inhale through your left. Pause your breath at the top. Block off your left, full exhale through your right, all the breath go. Deep inhale through your right. Pause your breath here, final time. Close off your right, exhale through your left. And then bring your right hand down, or your left hand, whatever you were using. Maybe the eyes remain closed, and just take a few balancing breaths here. Notice what you're noticing, see how you feel. And then if your eyes are closed, just slowly come with your eyes open. And if you're sat in a chair, or if you're on a settee, or if you're back against the wall, then I invite you just to come onto your mat, or if you're not using a mat, that's okay. Probably don't need a mat today. Let's see how you get on. Just bring your legs out, lean back into your hands, and then just drop your knees to either side. Just bring a little bit of movement back in. Gentle movement, see how you feel. See if you can feel that clarity, that space that you've probably created with your breath. Maybe you feel a little bit calmer, more balanced, right? And then come back to a seated position, maybe with the legs crossed this time. If this doesn't work for you, please find a seat that does work. So just to explain the breath we did really quickly, it's called Nadi Shodhana. It's alternate nostril breathing, or energy cleansing breath. At the left side of the brain, we think about parasympathetic nervous system, which is where we kind of rest and we're digesting and we calm the central nervous system down. And then we've got the right side, which is sympathetic, and that's more about energy, yang energy, where we're activated, we're busy. This is where we spend a lot of our time, in this right side. And then the left side, we probably want to spend a little bit more time there. What that breath does, it kind of cleanses, and what it does, it brings the energy into this lovely equilibrium. So it's very good if you feel a bit flighty, if you feel low of energy, do it. If you feel high of energy, do it, because it's going to equalize and balance everything out. So hopefully you feel that. We'll move a little bit, and then we'll come back to some more breath. Bring the hands onto the knees. I invite you to circle your torso around your hips. So just get into this nice movement, and maybe match it with breath. So inhale here, and then exhale as you come back. And just begin to rotate the torso around the hips. Now, you can see I bend into my elbows a little bit, but if there's anything going on with your spine and you feel quite tight in the hips and the lower spine, I encourage you just to stay a little bit more upright and draw little circles. These can have a really profound effect. So you find what works for you, but keep breathing, always breathing, and knowing that breath is the practice, right? It's not just part of the yoga practice. Is your yoga practice. Breath is the key, it's the door. It's the thing that kind of engages us, it gets us in and out of postures, and it will kind of sustain us through the duration of the class. So always stay aware of your breath. Inhale, exhale. Simple movements, right? This is not Instagram yoga, everybody. This is yoga for the real life, right? This is yoga for us mere mortals, the people that can't walk around on our hands. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Maybe some of you can. I certainly can't. All right, inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale. Nice, and then come into a twist again. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist over to the left. The right hand is on the left knee. Inhale to find length. Exhale into a twist. Maybe you close your eyes, whatever works for you. Take one more round of breath, nice deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Come all the way back to center. Sweep the arms back up just to find that alignment, and then exhale over to the right. Nice. So left hand on the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale to find some length. Exhale into your twist. Breathing deeply here. And you heard I just did a big sigh out through the mouth. Feel free at any point to kind of sigh out through the mouth if that's what you're looking for. And then when you're ready, you come all the way back to center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, frame the hands to heart center. So bring the hands back onto the knees and then circle the opposite direction. I think I've picked the right way. Because generally I'll quite naturally go, what do I naturally do? I go left to right. Yeah, naturally. I always start my postures on the right hand side because I'm right-handed, and that feels more natural to me. So I'll always deviate towards the right first. But if you're rotating in the same direction and you completely forgot, that's all right. Still a nice movement, right? Inhale, exhale as you go. We'll do a little bit of work in the spine today. A lot of seated stuff. Nice. Then just take a couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to center. Beautiful. I'm going to invite you to stand. Just for a moment, we're just going to move the legs just a little bit. So come to stand any way that feels good for you. Hopefully I'm not going to disappear off my mat. I'm going to come off my mat. In fact, I'll bring my mat back so I'm on it. Remove anything from your mat that's in the way. And then place your feet down on your mat and have your feet about hip width apart. That's nice. And then do what I'm doing. Just have a little walk about. Feel the four corners of your feet and just press down and just notice how this feels. Nice. And then replant your feet and find some stillness and come into your Tadasana. So it's a little bit of an adaptive mountain pose. Feet are parallel, lined up with the long edges of your mat. If you're stood with the long edges of your mat, I'm line up with the short edges of my mat, but line them up so they're parallel. And then tuck the tailbone under. And then just notice how you feel. Maybe tense your thighs right up and press your feet down into the floor. And then just let that go just a little bit, kind of relax the legs. Nice. And then just begin to walk the feet out a little bit higher than you did before. And notice how your foot plants back down. Maybe the right foot plants down slightly differently to the left foot. And then you can kind of bend the knees a little bit and kind of just walk it out. Maybe you just walk it quickly, slowly. You can swing the arms a little bit. And kind of bring that movement in so the legs are going, the arms are swinging. Maybe swing the arms a little bit more. Don't think about this too much. Maybe kind of walk the feet just a little bit more, maybe a little bit quicker. Maybe swing the arms a little bit quicker. How does that feel? Just walking, right? But you can do it, you can move. And then slow it down. And then come back to center. And then just come into a little balance. So with balancing, just pick one spot. You might have seen my balancing video that I did in my bathroom I think it was last month or September, I think it was. And I talked about Adristi. Adristi is a gaze point. So just find something that works for you. We've got this beautiful floor here at the Space to Breathe. So it's got all this natural knots in the wood. So I'm just going to pick a knot in the wood. Bring your hands onto your hips and then just lift up through your right leg. And you don't have to go far here, just lift it up. Maybe lift the knee a little bit further. Really nice, everyone. And then if you want to challenge yourself, you might just move the leg around a little bit. How does that feel? Then move the leg back. If you fall out and the foot comes down, just lift it back up and play around a little bit more. And then really bring your attention to your standing leg. What's happening with your standing leg? How does it feel? Maybe one leg is stronger than the other. Then bring the right foot down, or whatever foot you had up, and then just swap that out. Maybe bring a little bit of activation through the right leg. You don't have to have the hands here. You can always bring them down and use your arms as a little counterbalance. And then pick a Dristi, a point where you just look at one thing and then maybe move the leg around a little bit. How does that feel? And then think about how your standing leg feels. Does it feel different to the other side? And then bring whatever foot you had up, just bring it down. And then bring your feet back down onto your mat. Bring your palms so they face forward and just come back into your Tadasana. Maybe close your eyes. And then I invite you just to bring your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. And just breathe into your belly. Beautiful. And then if your eyes are closed, just come with your eyes open. And did you feel something different there? Did you feel something different either side? Was one side easier to balance than the other? Sometimes it is. My left side, my left lower leg, I have a lot of physio on that. I've twisted my ankle very badly a long time ago, and that leg tightens up. So when I stand on my left leg, it fatigues a lot quicker than my right. So I know that this leg needs more attention than this leg probably. It's a bit weaker. And as I get older and I lose my balance a little bit, if I wasn't doing yoga, then this left leg needs a lot more. So yoga can really inform where we are physically. It's such a magic practice like that. All right, feet about hip width apart. Bring your right hand onto your heart. Inhale. Open out your left arm to the left. So you're here. And then as you exhale, you swap. And you open your right arm to the right. You can see my head moves all the way, but I'm not straining here. So inhale left, exhale right. And you can see I'm breathing quite deeply here, and all I'm doing is I'm just swinging my torso open. Obviously, anything going on in the arms or the shoulders that doesn't feel good, adapt it. Do something that feels good for you. Never push through pain. Resistance is okay, and a reasonable effort is what we're looking for. But this is more about just moving the energy around, because we're going to come back to a seated position in a moment. Inhale left, exhale right. Stay nice and relaxed through the jaw. And then just begin to slow it down a little bit, and as you do that, maybe you let the arms just swing very lazily, maybe give the fingers a little wriggle out. Beautiful, fantastic. And then come back to that Tadasana, maybe bring the feet just a little bit closer together, give the shoulders a good wriggle, a good shake. Breathe it out here, deep inhales. Full exhales. Beautiful. Let's do one more standing posture. Now, what I'd like you to do is bend the knees loads here. So a big bend like this. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, really slowly just come down, lift the arms, if that feels okay. Any strain, you're going to have to adapt it. So inhale up, exhale down. Gentle. Inhale up, exhale down. You might just come down halfway. So you might just want to bring your hands down. You're just doing this, no strain in the back. Inhale, exhale. Nice. A couple more. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Beautiful. And then come back to a seated position. I'm going to bring my blanket back underneath me. because that's feeling good today. A little bit, well, I say a little bit, it's really wet out there. I think this storm is not as bad in the Midlands as it is for you poor people down in the south, but it's certainly having its effects here. All right, we're going to bring our hands onto the front shin. Just cup your hands over the front shin here, and then inhale the chest forward, exhale round your spine. So you're just rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. So you might kind of think, what is going on here? I'll show you from the side. So keep the movement going, hands on the front shin, and you'll see here, when I move from the side, the movement is kind of lower spine. So this kind of area, this is where the rounding is. I mean, the whole of the spine flexes, but you'll find that the lower spine is the one which is getting the most attention. So just get into a little rhythm like that. They don't have to be expansive or as quick as mine. Not that I'm quick or expansive or anything, but maybe just do little movements. Keep your head still though. So don't do this, don't move your head around. We don't want any independent movement of the head. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you inhale forward, you exhale round. So it might turn into something like this. Stay super relaxed through the jaw, through the shoulders. A little bit longer. And then if you're going a little bit quicker like me, do like 3 or 4 more. Slow them right down. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, just let the breath go. Beautiful. Bring the palms so they face up. Maybe bring the thumb and the forefinger together. Close your eyes if that feels safe, and just check in again with your experience. Notice what you're noticing. Just paying attention. And taking this time for yourself. Let everything else just wait for you. This is not indulgent, right? This is about you looking after yourself. And then come all the way with your eyes open. Lean back into the hands again. Bring the feet out. And again, just drop the knees to either side. Really beautiful, everyone. Fantastic. Let's do one more thing seated. Let's do one more breath exercise. And then we'll come on to all fours and we'll do a little bit more there. And then I think we'll be ready to be on our backs for Shavasana. So let's do this. Come back to a seated position and then find some length in your spine. We'll probably do 1.5 poses here actually. So what I'd like you to do, think about the tip of your nose, keep your chin parallel with the floor, and then just begin to move your neck. This is a lovely one to do if it feels okay for you to have your eyes closed. Inhale up, exhale as the chin falls down. Staying nice and relaxed through your jaw, shoulder blades are relaxed down your back. And then next time your head's back to center, swap it out, some new movements, and maybe the first 3 or 4 rotations are small, they're safe, they're slow, they're nourishing. Any areas of tension, pause, breathe into them, give yourself permission to move in a way that feels right for you, no one else. Give yourself permission to have that freedom in your body. Never push hard, be gentle, be kind. And then inhale, come all the way back to center. Take a full exhale. And if your eyes are closed, just come with your eyes open. Beautiful, everyone. Maybe swap your shins out just so you're feeling comfortable. And if you want to get back into a chair, great opportunity to do that now. You can do this next posture from a chair. Bring the hands onto the shoulders, and you'll see that my elbows are in line with my shoulders themselves, and then my fingers are tucked in. Now, if that doesn't feel good in the wrists, do that. So you can do cactus arms, and wherever you are, inhale left, exhale right. And just move at a rhythm that feels good for you. Now, I know some people who like to move really slowly. It's an inhale, it's an exhale. You just kind of twist the spine open. If you are okay in the spine and you're confident, then you might move a little bit quicker. Find a hand position that works for you. Cactus arms like this. You create a little bit more of a momentum. Freeze the shoulders up a little bit, but you still get the movement through the spine. Maybe the eyes are closed. Just stop yourself from becoming dizzy. And then inhale, come back to center. And exhale, just bring the hands down. And then just check in, bring the thumb and the forefinger together again, beautiful. And just see how you're feeling. Notice what you're noticing again. Let the energy settle. Beautiful, really nice. Okay, this final breath practice we're going to do. We're going to use a mudra, so we're going to bring our thumbs and our little fingers together, and then the other fingers come together, so you can hopefully see that quite clearly. It's just like a little tent. All the fingers touch, and you spread the fingers out. And then bring your thumbs onto your heart center, sit nice and tall, and then just bring your thumbs away from your heart, just a tiny bit, maybe an inch or two. And then you can close the eyes on this one, or if it feels okay, I don't like to do this so much. Some people close their eyes 9/10, but it gives me a bit of a headache, so I just close my eyes. But my gaze is down towards my fingers, but my eyes are closed. But either that or just look through a slit in your eyes. Take an inhale through your nose for about a count of 5. Pause your breath here at the top, again, for a count of around 5. Same length. And then it's simple, you just exhale for 5. Inhale 5. Pause at the top for 5. Exhale for 5. Notice the connection of your fingers at your heart. Take a deep inhale. Pause the breath. Full exhale. One more time with me. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And then in your own rhythm, inhale 5, pause 5, exhale 5. Just a few rounds in our own pattern. And wherever you are, don't rush it. Complete one more round so you finish on an exhale. And then just let your breath come back to a steady rhythm. Release the mudra. Bring the hands onto your knees wherever you are. You just sat on a chair. That's cool. And then from here, if you're in a chair, then you can stay there if you want. I'm going to go onto all fours, so if you're on your mat, join me on all fours. This is going to be the same movement. So if you're in a chair, you can bring your hands onto your knees, and then you just flex the spine forward. So like when we're here on all fours. And then as you exhale, you, again, just hold onto the knees and round your spine. You kind of just press into the hands. So inhale forward, exhale round. I should bring a chair in on one of my sessions tonight. In fact, we could do a whole session on chair yoga at some point. It might be really useful. Wherever you are, inhale, drop your belly down, and lift your head, lift your heart, spine is nice and long, and then you exhale, just round your spine. Loads of work in the spine today. This is just evening all of that energy out, making sure that you get rid of any residual stuckness in the body. And then take an inhale, come all the way up to center. And then when you're ready, just flip onto your back. Nice. And then just come to lie down. And then as you lie down, come down quite lazily, kind of bring the hands down, support yourself, hug your knees in towards your belly. Have a good rock around here. Maybe you bring the hand up to the knees and just draw the knees in circles. It can feel quite nice. Or you can open the knees out by bringing the hands right inside the knees and give the legs a little rock out. And then we're going to come into Shavasana. Now, if you want to do one more pose, maybe you want to do a twist. You can bring the arms and drop the knees to either side. That can feel quite nice. You can do a happy baby if that feels okay. I'm ready for my Shavasana, so that's where I'm going to go. As it gets cold and damp and a little bit grim outside, make sure you've got all these props and blankets and anything to make your practice a little bit more comfortable that's going to encourage you back onto your mat. And there's nothing like this, is there? These Mexican blankets are amazing for yoga because you can use them for, propping your sit bones or adjusting any posture, but then at the end to use them for a blanket. Beautiful. And just join me in Shavasana for a few moments, not too long. And just let all of the amazing work you've done this afternoon, let it all integrate into your body. Let the feet fall open, the palms face up. Maybe bring a little smile on your face, rejoicing the fact that you committed to your practice, you got onto your mat. And when you're ready, in your own time, in your own unique way, bring some movements back into your body. You can start with the fingers, the toes maybe. I just like to quite quickly stretch the body out. Come back to maybe more of a vigorous massage through the face. You can kind of rub the face a little bit. Maybe clasp the hands, push the palms away. Maybe hug the knees in towards your belly. Nice. And then come to a seated position. Now you can kind of transition through this fetal position again, maybe rolling onto the opposite side if you joined me in this position earlier on in the class. And then pressing into the top hand, just unravel yourself and come back to a seated position. Really beautiful, everyone. Let me just adjust this camera. Let me exit the full screen. Beautiful. Really nice work, everyone. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum and just wish yourself well, wish everybody else well. Up and down the country, people within your house, your home, people further afield that will need your energy healing. And with a wholehearted bow, namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. I've just turned the comments back on. So hi to Jackie, hi to Irene, hi to Margaret. Thank you so much. It's always lovely to get your comments. I'm glad that you guys joined me today. Yeah, I'll be back next week. I'm back up to, where am I going tomorrow? It's my 51st birthday tomorrow, everybody. 51? How did that happen? So I'm going to Kendal. I'm going to see a gig. I'm looking forward to that. But I will be back here in hopefully sunny Leicester, not rainy Leicester next week. Thank you to the Space to Breathe Collective for letting me use this space. I've got the key, so I just let myself in. And thank you to the Royal Voluntary Service, the Virtual Village Hall, for hosting me as ever, number 133. Thank you, Irene. I'll see you guys next week. Namaste. Keep safe, and I'll see you soon. Love you all.